everybody, it's Danielle here from DKW Styling. Okay, so welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, I specialize in hair color and hair extensions. If you've heard of natural beaded row hair extensions, that is an extension method that I developed. So if you want more information about that, click on the link below this video and that's going to take you directly to my blog. I love fashion and hair and color and all that, so I blog about all of my favorite things. In this video recently I've been getting a lot of emails, people asking me questions about different color formulations and things like that. So I decided to jump on really quick and I wanted to talk about how to take an over ombre or over balayage or that smudged rooted look and kind of soften it and take it back to a more organic, melty looking blonde color. I've been doing a lot of this recently because, I don't know, it seems like after you kind of smudge or root somebody several times, it starts to get too dark or pulls too warm, it starts to fade out kind of brassy, and then you have to go in and kind of lift it back. So if you don't do hair, this may totally sound like a different foreign language, but if you do hair, you can possibly relate to me. So anyways, let's kind of go ahead and get started. Lately, one of my rules with blondes is to lift with ash and deposit with warmth. So typically if I have a really blonde, bleachy client and they kind of want to transition to that soft, blended, melted look, I'm depositing color, so I'm adding a lot of warm tones to my color or my low light. If I'm trying to lift them out of that brassy or that red phase, I'm typically using bleach 20 or 30 volume, and the trick to kind of blending that is, well, let's take for example, you have that client and they're just too dark and you have to go in and you want to soften it, but you still kind of want the ends to look balayage and lighter. So kind of what I've been doing is taking it back to the basics and doing a traditional foil fine hair weave. Now if you've been doing hair, you know, for 10 plus years, you know, we all kind of learned with the traditional foils, and now tons of the balayage and the hair painting has come out, and it's very artistic and it's very fun. A lot of my colors, honestly, I combined a bunch of different methods that I've learned. So I kind of use the traditional of the foils because I love the control of the foils, and I love kind of the artistic side of painting or freehanding colors. So back to, if I'm kind of going in, I'm doing my basic full head bleach weave. Now again, if you're doing tons of hair painting, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to go back to the bazillion foils and it takes so long. We're kind of spoiled as stylists, kind of going towards the more organic painting side. But if it gets too dark, the only way to get rid of that is, or that overly smudged or over ombre look, the only way to get rid of that is to go in and kind of lift it back up and tone or deposit over that. So I take it back to the basics. I do a really fine hair weave. Now I'm going to post some photos on my blog so that you can kind of relate to what I'm talking about, and you can also view some of my other work. So I'm doing my full head weave. Typically if I want kind of a smudged or a rooted or a soft grow out, I'm going to foil about a ½ inch off the scalp. I'm going to let it process, lift to kind of that buttery blonde or pale blonde shade. And then if they are probably a level 6 or below, I'm also going to do a base to kind of barely break it and soften it so it doesn't look like they have, you know, too darker roots and too light of ends. On myself, I know I'm naturally level 5 and I don't want to over bump, but I just want to soften. So to control the warmth, I'm going to go in with maybe a 6 ash 20 volume on my own hair. Just barely bump it. Again, I'll put all the foils in, let those process, and bump it very last. I find that if I do a base, even if it's a dark base on myself, if I just leave it on for about 5 minutes, it's just enough to kind of soften it but not lift it too much, which then controls the warmth. So I'm going to apply the base in between the foils, and then I'm going to take my client over to the sink. I'm going to rinse them completely out. Then I'm going to take them back to my chair. Now if you're not familiar with a semi-permanent line as a stylist, get familiar with one. I love Redken Shades EQ. It's so soft, it's translucent, it's shiny, I love it. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to soften all those lines because I just did a really heavy bleach weave, and now they have all these crazy lines, and again, I love soft, organic, melty looking colors. So I'm going to mix up my semi-permanent. Now typically, because I'm depositing, I'm not going to get an 8 or a 9 ash. I'm not looking to tone. I'm looking to kind of deposit a little bit on the roots. So typically what I'll do is I'll mix up a level 7 and I'm going to go in and paint about 2 inches down. And I'm going to leave it on for about 5 minutes and I'm going to paint really fast. What this is going to do, it's not going to completely cover all that work you just did. It's just going to tone and soften your lines. And again, their ends are already pretty light because they've been previously lightened or balayage and they're kind of heavier blonde on the ends. That's going to just give it a really soft, pretty feel. It's going to be kind of darker and then melt out and be a little bit, still have that really nice organic look. It's just softening your ombre. So anyways, that is a technique or a concept that I've been doing a lot. If I have clients that don't like a base, I'll foil a little bit closer to the roots, you know, to break that up so it's not too dark, but I'll still apply the semi-permanent over it to soften any of my lines. Again, I love color, I love extensions, and I feel part of the reason my extensions blend so well is my knowledge and ability to color. So anyways, you guys, check out more of my YouTube videos, subscribe to my channel. I hope that these simple concept and ideas have helped you. And also don't forget to check out my blog by clicking on the link below this video. I also offer online education for hair extensions that includes a color demo as well. So anyways, thanks you guys for watching. We'll see you guys on my next YouTube video.